Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Play action. It's locked. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage. And hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Well, look there at what Lacey was able to do a week ago. 15 carries, 77 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. A dump off to Lacey. How did he stay on his feet? That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
On 2nd down, Lacey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Out of the gun, Luck. And he's going to go down here and sacked. They push him back to the 34. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about a 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped them at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. This one complete to Christian Kirk. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked
Personal
on.
foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're
First
right.
down.
They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his left. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DJ Chark, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-3. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. A shotgun snap for Love. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. They'll set up to throw. And able to find Kirk complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll look to throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And they work this out past the 25. They convert on third with a gain of 22. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Dancing to his left. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the play.
That was really well done right there. That almost looked like a training camp drill. Able to get outside of the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, and found his tight end for a nice first down. Much more difficult play than maybe he made it look.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Set! Blue landing! Blue landing!
They'll look to throw here. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Back to throw here. And his throw is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that
one. This is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down. They'll look to throw again. The quick slant caught. They'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
It's a quarterback sneak, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. It's their quarterback with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. So it was 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried the sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. This one complete to Laces. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. The 20! And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 31 yards there and a first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he's got this one down to the 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that comes.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cardinals draw a bit closer. Well, we heard it, how heavily they stressed effective goal line offense. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra point, splits the uprights, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's thrown for a touchdown. He also ran for a touchdown, so they have to count for a guy that can do a little bit of both.
And because of that, that puts a defense back on its heels. Because normally you just think, okay, he's going to throw the ball. Let's tee off, put a little extra pressure on him. But when he's able to either escape or run with the ball and design plays, that really changes what you try and do on defense.
Yeah, you certainly can't forget about the arm, that's for sure.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
This is intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me, and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. Here's Luck now on second down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now Lacey, and he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick here is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Sharp's got it, left side. That one goes for 24 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Christian Kirk, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
4 down. Back out. 90.
From the gun, here's Locke. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right. And this is caught inside the 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That goes for a gain of 31. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will get the lead up to 14. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline and talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. Creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive. So a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now, instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes.
The huddle come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll set up a throw. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. He'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that, but a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
Here we go now. 319. 319. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it's a second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On play action, they'll throw. They'll buy some time right. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now back to throw. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. They'll go with a keeper. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll hand it off. Lacey. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15. Not the start to the drive they were hoping for. That run doesn't get them much at all.
No, not at all. That leaves them with 3rd and long, which means you've got to dial up something pretty good. Think your best player with a play that he likes to run best.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? That he's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out, because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into. But man-to-man, every receiver believes he's going to win that battle. And you know what they all do? They all keep kind of a book, you know, on what the defenders do, what their moves are, their best things. And he wants to be able to refer to that book and beat one guy at a time. From
all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one goes for 36 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all of that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
They go play action here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
They're throwing it on 1st down, but no one was open, so he gets flushed out of the pocket, runs towards the sidelines, gets out of bounds with a good gain and a 1st down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Jordan Willis able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Christian Kirk, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Four down. Check. Back out. 90.
They'll try to get the offense going with Lacey. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this 3rd quarter of play. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the park. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On second down, here's Locke. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Well, that'll get him to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Luck on first down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To the air again, Locke. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Locke now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Again, Locke under pressure, and he will go down.
That particular play, it just came from the outside.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A shotgun snap for Locke. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Over the middle this time to Fowler. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
So they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
They'll drop to throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. 20! And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw. And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it?
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw on 2nd down is Locke. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. Returning here is Wright. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. Well, you got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
But go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but For the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne and try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
23 yards on the play. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack. They'll set up to throw. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Point after here coming up. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Out of the gun. Love. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, here's Love. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just 1 kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to...